Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
All right, the Saints will play the Raiders on Sunday because the NFL says that they have to. These are two very bad football teams. The Raiders coming in off of a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are now 3-12 on the season thanks to that victory. Of course, we know the New Orleans Saints coming in off of the 34-0 blowout loss against the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football. They are 5-10 on the season. Two teams that expectations weren't really high for in general, but two teams that have still somehow underachieved and finished below even the low expectations. But again, they're going to play the game. So we'll break it down and try to give you a pick here. And I've literally gone back and forth on this one all day long. It's just, it's a tough game to pick because you could make a case for both sides. When you look at the Raiders, one thing that they have an advantage in, and we talked about this with Adam Hill when he was here earlier in the show, is on the defensive side of the ball in certain areas of the game. I mean, if you're just looking at the Raiders from a scoring defense perspective, they rank near the bottom of the NFL. But their secondary has been really good. In fact, the secondary ranks top 10 in pass defense in the NFL. That bodes well against the New Orleans Saints. Because who you throwing the football to at this point? You know, Chris Olave was a full participant at practice all week. He's questionable. I'm not expecting to see Chris Olave in this game. And even if by some chance you do, which would be absurd, the guy hasn't played in almost a month. Actually, I'm sorry, more than a month. There'd be rust. It's just not there, and I'm not expecting him to play. So you've got Marquez, Valdez, Scantling, and who else? The passing game, it has not been fruitful. Since Rashid Shaheed went down, since you lost Taysom Hill, then Chris Olave, like you've gotten gutted there. And now you're going to face a defense that's top 10 in the NFL against the pass with Spencer Rattler at quarterback, who albeit has shown signs at some points throughout this season that doesn't necessarily bode well for you. The other thing is something else we talked about with Adam Hill earlier in the show. And that's this banged up Saints offensive line going up against a Raiders pass rush that has still been serviceable even without Max Crosby. And look, I understand. Again, you're not better without Max Crosby on the field, but the interior of your line is once again a shuffle, and you have Trevor Penning and then a rookie, Taliesin Fuanga, outside on extra tackle spots. The Packers defense, their pass rush is better than the Raiders. But you saw Spencer Rattler be under constant pressure on Monday night. You're dealing with a short week if you're the New Orleans Saints. Now, you don't have to travel, so that's a plus. When I look at this from a Saints perspective, what they have to do in this game to win, you have got to finish drives with touchdowns. No field goals. You have to finish drives with touchdowns. And you have got to steal possessions. And the other thing is Brock Bowers. Let's kind of take them one by one. Finishing drives with touchdowns. Shout out to Ross Jackson over at LouisianaSports.net. He put up this great piece, statistics to know for the game against the Saints. He highlighted point differential. The Saints are minus 37 in point differential. They were hovering around single digits in the plus minus until the Packers game. That skewed everything. So they've actually been pretty good there, and a lot of that is finishing drives. Whereas the Raiders are minus 126. They're not very good. Finish your drives. Figure out a way to stop Brock Bowers. It's been real difficult. The guy has been incredible as a rookie. Over 1,000 yards. He's got 30 more receptions, 30 more targets, 220 more yards than the next closest receiver, and he leads the team in receiving touchdowns. And you know what? The Saints have been really, really bad against tight ends this year. Dallas Goedert went for 170 on you. Travis Kelce went for 70-plus yards. For God's sakes, Jatavian Sanders for the Panthers ate you alive from the tight end position. The list goes on and on and on and on. Njoku got you. Kyle Pitts the second time around got you pretty good. Tucker Kraft on Monday night got you pretty good. You have to figure out a way to do that. I don't know if they can. They don't have anyone really that can guard the tight end. And the Raiders have shown an ability, even when everyone and their mom knows that Brock Bowers is getting the ball, they've shown the ability to still get him the football. The other thing is steal possessions, force turnovers. That might be the greatest advantage that the Saints have in this football game. I actually think that it is the greatest advantage that the Saints have in this football game. -1 in the turnover margin. When you look at the Raiders, they are -17. The Saints have to be on the positive side of the turnover margin to have any chance of winning this game. But on the flip side of that is when the Saints offense has been at its best, you've had Eric McCoy and you've had a healthy running game as well. You do not have either of those things in this football game. And that's why it's going to be a very low-scoring affair, and stealing possessions is going to be huge. I just look at the Saints offense, and I don't know how they really score much in this football game. I look at the Raiders offense. I don't know how they score much in this game, but I think they can score more than the Saints. The Raiders are a favorite in this game for a reason. And I think that they do come into the Dome and get it done. I'll take Vegas 16-10. I think it's going to be that ugly. But give me the Raiders. And I hope I'm wrong, because the Saints' draft position is set. I mean, they're picking 9, 10, 11, that range. So, hell, see if you can get a win if you can. I like the Raiders 16-10 to beat the Saints at home in the home finale in the regular season.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.